Right, okay, so welcome back to Cuba's YouTube. I'm going to introduce... I'm going to roll, I don't care. I'm going to introduce it today because I did a sign-off and everybody liked it, so I thought I'd do an intro for him. No, but in all seriousness, Cuba's going to warm up, and I'm not actually training today because I'm a little bit poorly. So we had, what can we call it? A debate on whether I was allowed to come or not. So he's told me that I'm allowed to come, but I can only unrack and re-rack the weights, which is fine by me as long as I can come to the gym, it's fine. So, pull day. We've actually done a little bit of a reshuffle of our training. So we decided that we were probably doing a little bit too much volume, meaning that we were needing to take deloads a little bit more often. We are the strongest, we are the biggest that we have both ever been. Which obviously comes with, does recovery take a little bit longer when you are that? Yeah, sure. And it takes a little bit of a hitter. So, we've pulled volume a little bit and reshuffled some of the movements. So, as we go through, I'll probably do a little bit more of talking just so that you guys can obviously have a little bit more understanding of why we're doing certain movements, the way that we do it to actually hit that certain body part or that certain part of the back. So yeah, so main compound still is the SLDL. We've not rinsed that enough yet because we obviously had the bands to start with. So SLDL will become the main compound for Cuba, and he's the main lift today. We will start with some glutes. He will start with some glutes, same we as if I'm allowed to train. We'll start with some glutes and then we will move on to some other kind of isolation-y stuff with the back. So yeah, so we'll go through it as we go, and I hope that you all enjoy it. As we said, is the glute drive. The idea with the glute drive is obviously not to have your feet too wide apart. It's almost shoulder width but a tiny little bit further apart. Make sure that your toes are always turning out. Make sure that your knees go in the correct path. Make sure that you are constantly squeezing your glutes. Make sure that they are on at all times. If you feel like they aren't, you're using a weight that is too heavy for you. Make sure that when you go down, you don't go all the way down because your quads will take over. Kind of a partial part halfway down, and then you drive those hips back up.
Best range of motion for a hip thrust isn't actually just go all the way down. As the active range of motion of your glute is quite short, so the second your knees start traveling towards you, that is when your legs start to take over. So one consideration to take, if you really want to target your glute in the short end range, that is exactly what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to train like quads and hamstrings. We need to keep the range of motion shorter. Whether you're using a barbell, whether you're using this movement, the same principle applies. So as you'll see, I'm only working with glutes here. I have a separate leg day in 2 days' time. I want to make sure that specifically I hit my glutes in the short end range here and get as little leg involvement as I possibly can.
2, 1 on, 7, 2, glutes on, 8, 2, 9, 2, come on, 10, 2, 2 more, 1, 2, and again, 2, 2. say about the SLDL, apart from the fact that you need to keep your legs straight, you need to keep your back straight, you need to pull it off the floor. Nice tight brace. Huber managed a 5-plate aside SLDL, which is nice and strong, especially for a deload session. Oh, I didn't mention that actually. Running a deload just costs, needs to get a little bit fresher. But yeah, he's going to move on to the shrugs now. So he's going to use the belt squat and shrug on there, because I think that he gets a really nice connection with it. So I'm not too sure what handle attachment he's going to use today, but that's what he's going to do. 2, 3. 2, 3. 11, 2, 3, like that.
Be like super fresh by the time I get to over it. I'm not putting my volume up if I'm not feeling like walking the gym and I'm fucking angry, do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'd rather just fucking take an extra day or two and fucking, do you know what I mean?
Roll down. All up the back, come on. And again. Nice. That's it. Up. Good.
Yep.
We just finished off, Kiwi just finished off on his upper back focused isolation stuff. So obviously first was the low cable upper back row, and then he moved over to the T-bar row, which is obviously upper back focused. He's gonna try and trial using some D handles just so that he can get a little bit more rotation in his hands when he's doing the T-bar row next time, just to make it even more upper back focused. So he's now going to move over to the lat focus stuff, the first with the prime pull down.
that is my pull session done. We will cover how I deload the legs as well. So it's a simple question, it's a simple relay session. Not really getting revved up, not really going too mad. Still taking things close to failure, but nothing past it, and just the one set as well. So this session, volume's reduced by 40-50%, so it just ticks it off nicely. So here we go, coming to the back end of the deload. We have a couple more sessions to go, so we're gonna see what's what. Today I actually feel a bit smashed. I actually feel worse for wear today, but I'm gonna get it done anyway. Only a quick short session really. I think it's 7 or maybe 8 working sets in total, so it's not gonna be challenging at all. It's more of a breeze. We're not gonna get revved up. It's just more of a case of matching or trying to get extra reps. Not really a case of pushing harder than I need to, as again, the fresher I can get for this next phase, the more progress will yield. So I will likely do today's session, which is going to be 4th session, and then possibly another 2, and then we're back in the game. So that's going to be the plan moving forward, guys. Always try and get more knee flexion. The more knee flexion, the better, to a degree. If you're trying to bicep the quad, the main reason is to always, for me, have slight heel elevation for a squat shoe. For me, just gets far more quad involvement. Back in day, I used to back squat big weight, but it didn't necessarily have big carryover to my quad development. Ever since I started backing away from that, focusing more on actually knowing how to bicep my quad, I've seen massive benefits of my quad development. So one thing, if you want to have big legs, know your purpose, know exactly why we're doing a certain movement, and know exactly what you're trying to do within a certain movement as well. So I've got a quite decent variation of a hip leg press made by Atlantis. So my knees just don't feel too great, and here's my deload. So I'd rather do something where I'm not going to aggravate him, because the whole point of running this deload is to get as fresh as possible. So beforehand, in past, I would literally just do the movement and just go for the pain, but this will mean that off the back of this deload, when it comes to doing it again, the pain's just still going to be there. So it makes no sense for me to just push it when I really need to back off.
Perfect. Come on. Again. Good, come on. Nice, come on. Good. Come on. And again. 5 more, come on. Come on. Come on. Nice.
Hey guys, so that is a wrap up. So we will see now if I need another session or not. Hopefully I won't. Hopefully I can get back to it, as my volume will be dropped slightly anyway with the sessions. So we shall see. She said see how I feel tomorrow and the day after when I wake. Today was a little bit of an off day, as I didn't feel quite too good anyways. But yeah, this is a general overview of how I approach my deloads. And again, that it can actually vary quite a lot as to how I approach them. Sometimes it is a little bit more intense, other times it isn't. Obviously this time I did take even more of a step back and focused on working in the higher rep ranges with shorter rest periods, and almost treating it as a session where I kind of want to be in and out. get as fresh as possible, keep the rest period short, and almost focus more on metabolic work rather than mechanical damage. So that is the plan moving forward, guys. Get fresh, reset and go again. Peace out for now, muffles. Thank you guys and take care. Ignore that thing in the background. Terrible.